What is going on, Thumbs? This is Brother2 bringing you guys our Week 3 Team Prep video here for the LDL, the Lonely Draft League Season 6 versus Jesse and the Boston Buzzwolves, formerly the Australian Arcanines. He decided to switch it up, which is all cool, but in the last week, we ended up getting an unfortunate loss, our first loss for the season, a 4-0 wonderful battle against Steven and the Russellville Rockets. So if you guys missed that, definitely go ahead and check it out, because that was definitely a battle. But this week, you guys, we are back, we are ready, and looking, and if you guys haven't seen these team builders before, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the team, Jesse's team, and then our team, and what we brought. I'm just going to go ahead and transition over to the first one we're going to bring, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Jesse's roster, which is right below me. So starting off, we do see that he does have an Excadrill. Unfortunately, he does not have the Sand Team, though, so it's honestly really interesting that he did decide to draft it, but honestly, it's a very, very powerful mon. It can Sword Stance, it can be Air Balloon, it can be a Rock Set or Rapid Spinner, really nice Rapid Spinner, actually. It can be Scarfed. It can hit incredibly, incredibly hard, so it's something that we definitely have to watch out for, because on top of all that, he did draft the Steelium Z, which pairs really, really nicely with Excadrill, with Iron Head and stuff like that, so something to really look out for, as we do have a really powerful ground and steel weakness, both. Steel really handles our Florges on the special side of things, as Earthquake usually can do a whole lot, especially to our Mega Aggron, so we really have to look out for that. Buzzwole is his next Pokemon. He decided to mascot draft, Buzzwole being a bug fighting type, not the fastest mon, of course, but has a tremendous attack stat and defense stat, actually, if I have to say so. It does have that ×4 weakness to flying, which could play into our favor, but at the same time, we have to just be careful, make sure that thing isn't Scarf, because if it is, it's going to be able to lay our team to waste really, really quickly, especially after one Beast Boost. It gets that one attack raise, and I think it can honestly sweep our team. Coming up, we faced Mega Gardevoir last week. Well, our opponent last week had Mega Gardevoir. This week, we're just facing off against a Gardevoir. Gardevoir, of course, base 80 speed, if I'm not mistaken. Still a wonderful special defense. Moonblast, Psychic, Psyshock, Energy Ball. Just all in all, almost the same thing Mega Gardevoir can do, just less powerful. It can be Specs, it can be Scarfed as well. Specs is usually the route you usually take with it. Synchronize is also something that that we do have to look out for. Moving on, though, we have Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is very interesting for me. Tyrantrum could be, once again, could be Banded, could be Scarfed. Banded is usually, or it could be the Dragon Dance set, and the Dragon Dance set is the one that actually scares me the most. Because after, I think, maybe 1 or 2 Dragon Dances, this Tyrantrum honestly is going to be the thing that can do our team in. Earthquake, Outrage, Head Smash, you know, it's just a very scary, very powerful mon, and if he's able to get that speed going for Tyrantrum, then we are going to be in a bit of trouble. Miltank, a Pokemon that I almost wanted to draft this season, however, it was half sniped from me, but thick, fat, sap sipper abilities. It's just a super scary mon. It's super bulky. It's fast as well. Miltank has base 100 speed, so even if you put no speed investment, it's going to be outspeeding a lot of things on our team. Yeah, most things on our team, which is honestly really scary. Milk Drink, Stealth Rock Setter, Earthquake, Body Slam. It could Curse. It's just super scary, and so if we do see that, we got to figure out if it's going to be Sap Sipper for our what's it called? Why can I never remember Corsage's name? Roserade, or Thick Fat for like Infernape and stuff. I'm not too worried about it, just because I do have a lot of fighting type availability on the team with Infernape, Crocodile, even Mega Aggron. So it's something to look out for sure. But I feel like if we can poison it, which you guys will see as we head into our own team, that's kind of like the focus I have for some of these bulkier mons. Regice, another huge bulky mon. I just faced its Steel Brother counterpart in the LL versus Lane, and I got Curse stalled out, which sucked really bad, and so I'm kind of expecting the same kind of thought process here with Regice. or it could be fully offensive. Like I was just researching Regice because I wasn't sure exactly what else Regice can do, and a spec set is very common on it, I suppose, in the lower tiers of where it's at. Mega Slowbro is also a potential difficulty for us. Just if it can calm mind once, we honestly can't do anything about it. Even with Jolteon here, it's gonna be very, very hard unless I can get like some sort of defense drop or anything like that, or if I can poison it. It's can honestly sit on the field, slack off, be there, and just do a whole amount of work. So I'm really, really scared, and I pray that Jesse doesn't bring the Mega Slowbro. Next up, another thing I'm actually really scared of is Xurkitree. Xurkitree, while not the fastest electric type, it can get Tail Glow, Volt Switch. It's got a very wide move pool for its special side, which is really, really weird. It can also handle I think it gets like Dazzling Gleam as well, or something like that, and as well as like Energy Ball. So it's honestly super scary to deal with. And if it does get if it's like a Scarf set, or if it's going to Tail Glow, sorry, my phone's going off. If it gets a Tail Glow off and it's able to somehow outspeed us, we are in so much trouble. We are seriously in so much trouble, but I feel like with Jolteon, we might be able to make our way around it, but still. I think that's like a base 173 special attack, and it's nothing to sit on at all. Leavanny is very, very interesting. I don't expect it to come. However, with our faster team, there is a possibility, just because Leavanny, while it is Bug Grass, very, very bad typing, unfortunately, it does get access to sticky webs. Could pull off some Swords Dance, like Leaf Blade shenanigans if it honestly wants to, but if he does bring it, the best thing I can think of is it's going to set up sticky webs, and we're going to be in a world of trouble if he does. Golbat is another potential threat. Golbat, base 90 speed, still very, very bulky mon, especially with that Eviolite. It can honestly tank any attacks out. I'm not too worried about it, just because we do have Mega Aggron, Super Fang or Hyper Fang. I can't remember which one it was, but the one that lowers our our HP by 50%. It's going to be scary if he does decide to bring that set. Another set, just because that does handle our Mega Aggron, it quickly lowers them, but otherwise we eat up any hit that this thing can honestly throw at us. The only other thing that might happen, which I hope doesn't happen, I hope it's just a standard U-turn defog kind of set with Brave Bird, but if he does decide to bring like a Nasty Bat set, it could cause some trouble. I'm not sure if Golbat gets the same moves as Crobat does, but I know Nasty Crobat is a thing, and so if he does bring a Nasty Plot Golbat, I know that might present a problem. I'll have to double check that before we head into things. But last but not least, this man has all the Ultra Beasts in the world: Buzzwole, Xurkitree, and last but not least, the newly open Blacephalon. Jesse actually saved enough points to get this thing as his last pick, which is super cool. But a Fire Ghost type, super, super speedy, and super, super what's it called? Powerful in the special attack. It's a glass cannon by any means. Mind Blown is a very, very powerful moon, just because of that risk reward system, whether once it does go for the Mind Blown, it does take 50% of its health, but at the same time it can one-shot our Mega Aggron, even if we're fully special defensive. It can honestly handle a lot of our things on our team, so if it's Scarfed, if it's Specs, it's just going to be doing a huge hurt of damage. Even if it's Sashed, if we try and revenge kill it with something, we are going to be in trouble. So that's his team. The things I'm thinking he's going to bring. He's definitely going to bring the Blacephalon. The Mega Slowbro, I pray doesn't, but I know he's going to bring it. The Miltank, the Tyrantrum, the Gardevoir, and I feel the Buzzwole. But let's go ahead and jump into our team. As you guys do see on the screen, he's been sitting there for a while. We have Jack, our Jolteon, holding the Life Orb this week. It's a modest, fully invested modest nature, just because that speed stat, the speed on Jesse's team, the fastest thing that he does have is going to be the Blacephalon, which I think maxes out at 104, 105 speed, something like that. And so the next fastest thing is going to be his Miltank, so we have that availability to go ahead and put that extra attack into that extra damage into a modest nature Jolteon. So pretty standard set. Almost, I think it's the same one we brought last week, just modest. Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power, Ground for that Excadrill. and Shadow Ball for the Blacephalon, obviously, but very, very standard. It's gonna allow us to get a lot of initiative, especially if that Excadrill doesn't come, and if that is the only thing that is standing in our way. We can easily take care of that, I feel. And then after that, Jolteon will be able to go ahead and put the damage in. Absolutely, Jack is here. Next up, we have our Palladium. Our Mega Aggron making its return, and like I said before, some of these walls like Miltank, the Mega Slowbro, and stuff like that. Sorry, cats. Like I said, just some of those walls are just very, very difficult to deal with, and sometimes Pokemon that want to set up as well. And so we have Heavy Slam, of course, for General Stab, Earthquake to handle everything else that Heavy Slam can't. Toxic and Roar. Roar is there for any potential setup. Toxic is there for the bulk. This is primarily built to take on anything physically attacking, so the Tyrantrum, the Excadrill. We still take a lot of damage from the Excadrill, unfortunately. The Buzzwole, especially the Buzzwole, we can actually eat up hits from all day, I believe. And it's the only thing that really scares me is that Mega Slowbro Calm Minding, and that's specifically why we have Roar. That's specifically why we have Roar right there. But I like it. 252 attack, 252 HP, 4 in attack, just because I didn't know where else to put it. We have 100 in defense, 152 in special defense for an impish nature. That 152 in special defense is just because of the Blacephalon. I think if we are sitting around full HP, we will be able to go ahead and live at least one Mind Blown or one Specs Flamethrower. So I'm just trying to be prepared for the worst, just in case Palladium does end up in that situation. But fear not, even though he could be taking a lot of hits and be taking a lot of damage, I am definitely going to be ready for that, because up next we have Periwinkle, our Florges, who has made her return, holding the leftovers. This time a Moonblast Toxic Protect Wish set. Toxic, of course, is there just to handle any other walls. It's very, very bulky, fully specially defensive bulky, which just blows its special defense out of proportions. It's mainly there to handle the Slowbro and the Blacephalon, or even the Gardevoir as well. Because those are his three main special attackers. Xurkitree could be a possibility as well. However, I have better things to handle Xurkitree than Periwinkle, and Periwinkle doesn't take the electric type attacks too well from it, which kind of sucks. But I do have Moonblast just for general coverage. It handles a lot of things. The Buzzwole, the Tyrantrum, it hits the Miltank decently. It's just a good general stab move. Toxic, like I said, just handle the bulky mons. Wish Protect to pass things off to keep it healthy, and that's going to be one of my main ways to make sure that Mega Aggron does stay around. Because the things that handle Mega Aggron, disregarding the Excadrill, like it's going to be the Blacephalon and stuff like that, and Blacephalon can't do anything to Periwinkle here. So if the opportunity comes where I can Wish Pass onto Aggron, it's going to do the damn thing. It's going to do the damn thing. Like I said, fully special defensive. Bold Nature, though. I'd made it Bold Nature just because there were some physical attacks coming from certain mons. I can't remember exactly which ones. But the damage was right there to where it was almost a two-shot after leftovers. And I couldn't risk that, and so I decided just to invest in that Bold Nature just to make sure that we did creep over that 2 KO range, the 2-shot range. Moving on, though, we do have, once again returning, we have Hitterzen. Our Infernape Hitterzen is very, very clutch this week, for sure. It's going to be a Choice Scarf set because at full speed, I remember now, Blacephalon is base 107 speed, so we have to run a full Jolly set to guarantee to outspeed by 1 point. Which is really, really nicely. It's just it just seems like a standard Infernape set, but it was built to handle that Blacephalon if it was scarfed. Flare Blitz, of course, handles the Excadrill, Buzzwole, the Regice, the Leavanny, and actually does a lot to the Blacephalon as well, which is really, really nice. Close combat for the other things, such as the Miltank, primarily the Miltank, actually, that I'm seeing. U-Turn is there for the potential switch initiative, and Mach Punch, which is really, really weird. Mach Punch on a Scarfmon that outspeeds everything. That's just in case somehow something outspeeds us of some nature, and we need that extra quick jab at it, or if we get knocked off by anything. I'm not sure what knocks off on his team, but it's there just in case, for that quick little you're done, you're over. And it just makes me feel a little bit safe to have that type of priority as well. So heat is in. Hopefully we'll be able to do the damn thing. It's very, very powerful, very, very clutch, and this will... And it's going to be very, very interesting if we are ever in a situation against the Miltank, because of course Miltank does get thick fat if we choose to Flare Blitz instead of close combat. And it comes in to eat the hits. We'll know that we can go ahead and close combat next turn in those situations, but it's going to be very, very risky to stay in against a Miltank to figure out what it is that we're going to do. Next up now, when it came to planning this team, I wanted a little bit more bulk. However, Slowbro wasn't doing it. Slowbro unfortunately just was not able to wasn't able to take the hits that I needed it to. I'm like, well, what other potential mon can I make bulky on this team? And going down the roster, with all the physical type attackers, I found the right mon to do the job, and we're gonna go ahead and bring Liability, our Crocodile, into the mix here. Full HP, full attack. Intimidate set with an adamant nature. I know you guys can't see it, but it is an adamant nature, foreign special defense, just in case for some random reason. But the Intimidate helps out so much this week. Like, seriously, with all the physical attacking mons on his team, any Intimidate on a mon is going to be beneficial. I have leftovers on there just so he can stay around as long as he can. We have Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks just to slowly whittle down anything that we can, break any sashes, especially on Blacephalon. Golbat takes 25%, Regice takes 25%, and then just general chip. And if Excadrill decides to be a focus sash, well, then there's that sash as well. Earthquake knockoff, general stab knockoff is going to be really, really nice to get rid of scarves. Other things like that, leftovers on the Miltank if we want that. And then Superpower is primarily there just for the Regice and the Miltank. No other things, just because we can't really damage the Miltank, especially if it's a fully defensive set. Same thing with the Regice, and if we're able just to put in a huge hit of Superpower against it, well, it does lower our attack and defense by one stage, which is going to be challenging to work around. I feel like if we can get the damage off, it'll be more beneficial for us to switch out, because then we put Jesse on the edge of, oh, another huge attack is coming. So if we're able to use Liability efficiently, it's so weird to not have it be offensive of some kind, you know. Well, it is offensive. I mean, it's built to be bulky, which is just so weird to me. It's just so weird to think that, but you know, hopefully we can do something with it. It was either that or Slowbro, and I just felt more comfortable with Liability. But yeah, hopefully what we'll be able to handle the majority of the team here. Of Jesse's team, and hopefully bring us the W this week is going to be Bellatrix, our Miss Magius, making her debut, holding the Life Orb as well. That's right, I have 2 leftovers and 2 Life Orb users this week, which is super weird, but stay with me. We have a timid set, 220 in attack to guarantee to outspeed, say, a fully speed invested Miltank for some damn reason. But rest in HP, 252 special attack. Nasty Plot set is what we're bringing, ladies and gentlemen. The Nasty Plot, after a +2, we can 2-shot, if not 1-shot, a whole bunch of, if not his whole entire roster. So I'm just going to go down each move. Shadow Ball can handle the Gardevoir. It can handle... the Gardevoir. It can handle the Mega Slowbro. It can handle the Golbat, and it can handle the Blacephalon. Mystical Fire handles the Excadrill, handles the Buzzwole, handles the Regice, handles the Xurkitree and the Leavanny. Dazzling Gleam handles the Tyrantrum, and it handles, what was the other mon I missed? Handles the Tyrantrum and the Buzzwole, just in case. So after a +2, if we get to +4, we absolutely sweep. The only thing that is scary is any potential Scarfers like Blacephalon or maybe even Buzzwole are the 2 main ones I can see being scarfed. But this Bellatrix will do the work. I hope it does the work. Hopefully I'm not missing anything as far as, you know, his team or something that could honestly take care of it. Because we we can do the damn thing. Dazzling Gleam, I think even it was Miltank. That's what it was. After a +2, if it's a physically defensive set on Miltank, we 2-shot with Dazzling Gleam. I can't ask for anything better than that. We're Levitate, of course, so it can't hit us with Earthquake. It can't hit us with Body Slam. Dude, we're so good. So, like, honestly, Bellatrix is here. I hope I can pull this off. The best things to set up on this thing, sorry, my nose itches. The best things to set up on are going to be potentially the Buzzwole, the Tyrantrum, kind of, if it doesn't want to deal with us. But the the Buzzwole, the Miltank, the Regice, the Mega Slowbro, especially if it starts to Calm Mind, we can definitely outdo it with Nasty Plots. And so, yeah, if he does decide to bring any of those, we could easily set up. The Miltank for sure is coming, so this is going to work. And that's going to be our team prep video here for week 3. Is it week 3? Yeah, week 3 for us versus the Boston Buzzwole. So if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a thumbs up down below for your thumb brother. And if you do have any questions, or if you have an idea of something I should have brought instead of one mon on the team, definitely let me know down in the comments. But I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Sunbrother2, and I'll see you guys in the next one.